compound, it will give us CH3 all times by N. 1 dm cube of the gaseous compound at STP weighs 1.35 gram. Therefore, 22.4 dm cube, that is volume occupied by 1 mole of a compound at STP of the gaseous compound at STP will weigh 22.4 over 1 times 1.35 gram, which will give us 30.2 gram. Therefore, the relative molecular mass of the compound will give us 30.2 gram. The molar mass is the multiple of the empirical formula mass, CH3. Since the empirical formula CH3, the molar mass CH3 times N, where N is the integer. Therefore, CH3 all times by N will equal to 30.2 gram. Therefore, 12 relative molecular mass of carbon plus 1 relative molecular mass of hydrogen times 3 atoms of hydrogen, all in brackets multiplied by N, will give us 30.2 gram. Summing 12.3 with summing 12 plus 3 will give us 15N, time which is equals to 30.2 gram. Therefore, N is equals to 2 if equals to multiply. Then times multiplying the N from the molar mass, we have that therefore the molar mass of the compound is C2H4 from the answer. Example 5. The percentage of CHO in vitamin C were determined by burning a sample weighing 2.00 milligram. The mass of the carbon 4 oxide and water formed are 3.00 milligram and 0.816 milligram respectively. From these, find the percentage of each element and the empirical formula of vitamin C. Solution. The mass of carbon in 3.00 milligram of CO2 is equal to mass of carbon over mass of CO2 times 3 over 1, which is equals to 12 of mass of carbon divided by 12 plus 32 mass of CO2 times 3 over 1, which is equal to 12 over 44 times 3 over 1, which will give us 0.818 milligram. There are 2.02 gram of hydrogen in 18 gram of H2O. Number of gram of hydrogen is now equal to mass of 2 hydrogen over mass of water H2O times 0.816 over 1 in 0.818. Therefore, which is equals to 2.02 divided by 18.0 times 0.816 over 1, which will give us 0.09157. The sample used was 2.00 milligram. Therefore, percentage of carbon, which is equals to 0.818 over 2.00 times 100 over 1, which gives us 14.9%. Percentage of hydrogen, which is equal to 0.0916 over 2.00 times 100 over 1, which will give us 4.58%. Percentage of oxygen is obtained by difference. Percentage of oxygen will now be equals to 100 minus in bracket 40.9 plus 4.58, which will give us 54.5%. The empirical formula. The elements C, H, O are in the composition of that element. Therefore, the percentage composition of the elements carbon C, which is 40.9, the composition of hydrogen, which is 4.58, and of that of oxygen is equal to 54.5. The ratio of atom, that is the percentage composition by mass divided by the relative molecular mass, which is equal to the percentage composition of carbon, which is 40.9, divided by the relative molecular mass, which is 12, and that of hydrogen, which is percentage composition of 4.58 over the relative molecular mass of hydrogen, which is equal to 1, and that of oxygen, the percentage composition of mass of oxygen, which is 54.5, divided by the relative molecular mass, which is equal to 16. Their answer will now become 34 3.41 for carbon, 4.58 for hydrogen, and 3.41 for oxygen. Dividing by the smallest ratio to the nearest integer, we have that 1, we have for carbon 1, and for the hydrogen 1.33, and for the oxygen we have 1. Here we see that for each carbon atom there are 1.33 or 4 over 3 hydrogen. The nearest whole number should therefore be 3 C3H4O3. When we multiply the number of carbon and oxygen atom by 3, therefore the empirical formula for vitamin C is equals to C3H4O3. Example 6. A sample of calcium chloride weighs 1.64 gram. It dissolves in water and silver triosonitrate 5 solution added. A precipitate of silver chloride weighing 4.24 gram was formed. Determine A, the percentage composition, B, the simple formula of calcium chloride. Solution. Mass of chlorine in the silver chloride. In the silver chloride, 1 gram of atomic mass of chlorine is 35.45 gram. Is combined with 1 gram of atomic mass of silver, 107.87 gram, to give 35.45 plus 107.87 to give us 148.32 gram of silver chloride. 35.45 gram of chlorine is contained in 148.32 gram of silver chloride. Number of gram of chlorine in 4.24 gram is equal to 35.5 over 143.32 times 4.24 all over 1, which gave us 1.048 gram of chlorine. This is the mass of chlorine not only in precipitate but also in original salt, since chlorine has only formed salts. Percentage of chlorine and calcium. Percentage of chlorine is equal to mass of chlorine over mass of sample times 100 over 1, which is equal to 1.048 over 1.641 times 100 over 1, which gives us 63.86%. Percentage of calcium will now be equal to 100 minus 63.86, which gives us 36.14. To obtain the smallest formula, atom Cl